Hi everybody, welcome to LindaFit Pilates. Today we're going to be strengthening the muscles of the back body, and particularly the spinal muscles that support our spine and some of our posterior shoulder girdle muscles that help keep our scapula stable on the back when we move. Are you ready? Let's hit it. We're going to come down first into just a quick child's pose just to get a nice release and stretch for our back muscles, bringing the knees fairly wide, about the width of the hips, and the big toes are together and the heels are apart. And I'm just breathing here, stretching out into my mat. Inhale, exhale. I can rotate my arms out a little bit so I'm on my pinkies, so I get a nice release in some of my shoulder muscles that connect my arm all the way down to my pelvis. And I feel that stretch along my back body. I'm going to breathe, lifting my back ribs up. Exhale, let them melt down. And this is a good time not only to practice this postural lateral breathing, where I'm breathing into the back and sides of my body, but also to start to engage my lower belly muscles. When I pull my lower belly in, it will lend support to my lower spine. So we always want to remember that important Pilates detail. So we're going to come now down onto our stomachs. We come out of the child's pose. And the very first thing we're going to do here is learn how to do a very simple back extension. I like to bring my hands right underneath my shoulders. I have my legs together and I pull my abdominals in. Now, if you feel you need a little more support, you can take your arms wider and slightly more forward. But the most important thing is to not focus on our hands. We're focusing on the muscles of the spine that actually will help lift the vertebral column off the mat slowly and sequentially. So here's how we do it. We're going to lengthen from head to tailbone along our mat. So not lying passively, we'll gaze across the top of the mat, and we'll not push into our hands as we gaze and start to lift the head, the neck, the chest. We make sure the hands are still light. I kind of move my fingers, and I get my shoulders to lift up and back. I don't want them to pitch forward and down. That's such an important point. And as I come up, I'm pulling my belly muscles in and up from my pubic bone to my ribs. My shoulders are relaxed, and my spine has a constant energy that reaches up and out. I'm breathing, maintaining this strong extension, and if I need more support, I can let my legs open, and some of you will find your legs drift up. You're probably a little tight somewhere in your back chain. I don't know, hamstrings or calves. Don't worry. Let it happen. Then slowly release, slow sequential movement, lower back, middle, neck, head. You come back to the floor. We'll just do that one more time. Hands light. Now I'll show it with the hands a little bit more forward for those of you who need a broader base of support. Gaze forward, peel the head, neck, and chest. Again, my shoulders back. And you may find some of you who need a little bit more support can push into the hands and try to get your shoulders back, your abs in, and you allow your arms to support you a little bit more. We want to feel those muscles pulling down from the back of the head all the way down to our pelvis. We want to feel our abdominal muscles pulling in and up the front, giving us some support. And then we're going to slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Remember, you can always keep that tailbone a little bit tucked, so we use some of those posterior muscles to help as well. Now we're going to continue to move on here. I'm going to take my band. If you have a band and you would like to work out today with a little bit more resistance, we're going to add this exercise tube. I have some other videos where we use the exercise tube, but in this video I want to be clear that if you're not ready to use it, you can do any of these exercises without the band. But I'm going to place the center of the band underneath my chest, and I'm going to have my handles on either end. Now watch, I'm first going to do one action without the band. I'm going to bring my arms to the side, making a T shape. My belly muscles are in, and I'm going to rotate my arms so that my thumbs are on top, my pinkies face the floor. I'm going to pull my abs in tight. Same beginning, I'm going to gaze forward and peel my head, neck, and chest, extending my spine. But now I'm going to add a shoulder action. I'm going to lift my arms a little, and I'm going to feel my shoulder muscles engage. And then I'm going to see if I can feel my shoulder blades squeeze together towards the spine. This is going to strengthen not only my spinal muscles, but obviously my shoulder muscles, those muscles that pull my shoulder blades together. I hold here, keeping my spine extended, my belly muscles strong, thumbs on top. Then I'm going to slowly start to lower my spine. I release my shoulder blades. I roll down with control. I come back to the mat. And I'm going to do it again. Thumbs up, belly in. I'm going to gaze forward, peel head, neck, chest, gazing forward. This time I'm going to think about the front body, my collarbones broad, my chest lifting just a little, so it's as if I had a light from my chest to whatever's in front of me. I'm shining the light on that so I'm not too dropped. Right, the gaze is forward, thumbs up. And again, I'm going to lift my arms and squeeze my shoulder blades together. So I feel my mid-trapezius, my rhomboid muscles, right, that help pull those scapula together. And then I release the scapula and I slowly roll the vertebrae and bring the arms down. I'll rock my hips side to side. If you need a child's pose, you can sit back on the child's pose, and let's just show that quickly. And it's so important to add those scapula muscles because when we're sitting at a desk all day, especially rounded, those muscles get very weak and overstretched. So what I'm doing is learning to use gravity to strengthen them. So essentially I'm pulling them back so that when I sit up tall, they do their thing and don't keep me perpetually rounded like this. Okay? So we did our child's pose, and we're going to come back, and we have our band right under the center of our chest. And just make sure, sometimes it's helpful to make sure that you have an equal amount of band so I can measure it off, right? And make sure that that band is equal on either side. So now I'm going to grab my handles. Same thing, thumbs up. I'm going to inhale, lift my head, neck, and chest, thumbs pointing up. I sequence my back. I squeeze those scapula together, and then I slowly release the scapula, the spine, the arms back to the mat. I'm going to do it again, but some of you will like a little more resistance. So I'm now going to hold my band a little bit lower. I'm going to get my thumbs up again. So when I pull the band, I already feel increased challenge, increased resistance. Abdominal muscles in and up, legs long and together. I'm going to gaze forward, peel head, neck, chest. I shine the light from my chest forward. My arms are pulling out in a T. My thumbs are up. And now I add, can I squeeze those scapula together? Oh, that feels so good. Getting those mid-traps to engage, some of those rhomboids. Opening up my anterior chest. I'm getting strong in my back. Do not forget to engage those abdominals. They pull up the front. They're going to support that lower back. And then you slowly release the spine. You lower the arms and you come down. You rock the hips side to side, or you sit back on the heels and round. Take a breath. We're going to do this one more time. We're going to add a leg action so we can also extend our hips. This is also going to help challenge some of those lower back muscles in particular. So watch. We're going to have our thumbs up. I'm going to pull the band, abdomen in. I'm going to gaze forward, peeling head, neck, chest. I'm going to lift up, thumbs up, shoulder blades, squeezed, arms lifting. I'm going to lift my right leg and squeeze my right glutes. Stretch my right knee so the hamstrings, gluteals engage. But I want to pull my abdominals in and up, right, protecting that lower back, right, which works a little bit harder when that right leg goes up. I'm going to lengthen and slowly lower down. I'm going to do the same thing again to the other side. I start the same, thumbs up, belly in, sequence, head, neck, chest, peeling up, thumbs up. So the arms are externally rotated. I lift my left leg, squeeze my left glute, straighten the knee. I feel my front hip marker pressing. I feel those glutes engaged. I pull my abs in. Feel those lower back muscles getting a nice workout here. But I feel the support of those abdominals. Chest forward. Oh, it feels so good. I lower the leg. I roll the spine down. I'll let go of my band, and I'm going to sit back on my heels and round. So strengthening the back body is important. We learn to strengthen all the different muscles, spinal muscles, shoulder girdle muscles that support the blades on the back, as well as some of our posterior hip muscles. And what's very important about working on the stomach, right, and working the posterior chain is working your abdominal muscles, right, which form this corset of support protecting our lower back. So let's continue with all those ideas in mind, and we're going to change what's working. So we worked on our spinal muscles. We did a little focus on lower spine. We worked on some of the muscles that bring our shoulder blades together. Let's work on some of those muscles that pull our shoulder blades down the back. So this is so important, again, for the health of the shoulders. We'll bring our band now in front of us. And again, I'll start with without the band, just because some of you might not be ready yet to progress to working with extra resistance. So I have my arms in front and lying here with my thumbs on top. Again, I always want my arms in external rotation when they're in front of me. They pull deep into my armpits on either side. and I feel that my shoulder blades slide down towards my hips. This is the optimal alignment. My abdominals zip up the front, and then I'm going to see first if I can just lift up my arm. I'll lift up one at a time. And when I lift up, I pull my arm into the armpit, and I feel my shoulder blade pulling down the back. So I want that action of bottom shoulder blade tips pulling down as my arm goes up. This is what I'm going for, right? It's called the lower trapezius muscle. I'm going to come down, and it's what helps to keep that scapula or shoulder blade pulling down when the arm goes overhead. Let's do the right side. I'm going to slowly lift just my arm. I pull it deep into the armpit, and I feel that right shoulder blade sliding down the back. I try to get that blade to pull down using my right lower trapezius muscle. That pulls down to my hip, my back pocket, so to speak. My abs are in, and then I lower the arm, I come down. And I got my pinkies facing the floor, thumbs on top, again, abdominals zip up, legs long. And also think here now that we're going to bring both arms up that you can also tuck your tailbone a little and pull up in your abs to protect your lower back, because when we have the weight of two arms going up, it gets a little bit more challenging. So upper arms pull back, shoulder blades pull down, and I lift those arms. And as the arms come up, I try to pull my shoulder blades down. And I may even benefit by bending my elbows a little, right? Just helping to find those lower trapezius muscles. So when I bend my elbows, it helps get me out of my upper trapezius, my neck, and I try to pull those bottom shoulder blade tips down and in. It's almost like coming to goalpost arms. I can do it this way. And then I'm going to slowly bring my arms forward, and I bring them down. Now, if you notice, I've been doing this without letting my spine lift up quite a bit. So I'm just keeping my head off the floor so I can still talk to you. But please know that we're doing right now with the head down, the chest down. We're just lifting the arms. So the spine hasn't gotten involved. It's going to get involved now. So now we're going to show it with the band, which is a progression. And we're going to add our spinal muscles, right? So abdominals pull in, thumbs on top, shoulder blades down the back. This time, I'm going to pull the band. I make sure it's not too tight, has an adequate resistance, but it's not overwhelming. And I'm going to lift my arms, my head, my chest, right, sort of like Superman. I'm going to pull my shoulder blades down. And even here, I have the option of bending my elbows and finding those lower trapezius muscles that will slide my bottom tips down. If I can, I keep those blades down. I see if I can straighten my arms and lower back to the mat. Ooh, that is challenging. Now you want to zip up those abdominals, tuck the tailbone. Again, pull the band, or you can do it without the band, and we're going to lift the arms, head, neck, and chest. Again, it's not super high, but it's super strong. Shoulder blades down, thumbs up. Keep trying to tuck that tailbone, zip those abdominals, protect that lower spine. If you need to let your legs float up a little, you can. But keep those legs active, stretched. Abdominals strong, tailbone tuck, breathe, and come down. Ooh, that's challenging. Now we're going to do just one more. Thumbs on top, shoulder blades down. I pull the band. I'm going to lift arms, head, chest. I lengthen and find this long arc from my reaching fingers to my toes. And if I need to, I can let my legs open a little bit, right? That'll help my lower back if it's a little tight. I zip my abs, and I feel that long arc from my fingers to my toes, belly in, and I slowly release and come down. And then I'm going to do one more thing here. If you need a child's pose, please take it. I'm not going to show it, but please come back into the child's pose. If you need to, I'm just going to rock my hips side to side and breathe. But some of you will need to do more child's pose between your extensions than others, so I always say please do it, because it's a way to release the lower back and the whole posterior chain. And now we're going to make our stance on the band a little wider, thumbs up. I'm going to pull my blades down. Watch, it's going to be a little easier because the band will be very loose. I'm going to inhale, lift up, and I'm going to bring my arms behind me. Boy, does that feel good. And as I bring my arms back, I'm going to open that anterior chest. I'm going to stretch my legs down below and breathe. And just keep pulling that chest forward. As I reach my arms back, I feel my powerful shoulder muscles engage, my lats, right, which help extend my back, my abdominals, which help support my lower back. And now I'll lift my legs. I'm just going to end with a little flutter kick here just to get the blood moving, to reach that chest forward. Kick, 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 kick. Can you do this? All right, don't stay too high. Right, breathe. Chest forward, legs kicking back, nice stretch knees. And then I'm going to hold, I lower down, I bring my band forward. Yes, and we're all going to sit back now for a much deserved child's pose. Remember, knees open, heels will come apart, big toes together. Then I just melt into my mat and I stretch out all those spinals and I breathe. Inhale, exhale. Feels so good after that nice back workout. Again, we worked on all the muscles that support the posterior chain, the spinal muscles, the posterior shoulder girdle muscles, and even some of those hip muscles. Now, if you need more stretch, please see some of my LindaFit stretches for the hips, for the back. And I look forward to seeing you in future workouts. Have a great day.